Welcome to A Cause for Applause, a celebration of 10 years of the LGBT Elder Initiative. While we cannot gather in person this year, we are excited for this virtual event to commemorate a decade of work in our LGBT older adult community. I'm Michael Byrne, your host for this evening. My connection with the Elder Initiative runs deep. I've been a board member for 3 years, and I'm thrilled to be a part of this evening's celebration. I'm also the facilitator of the program at the EI, the Thrivers program. I'm sorry, I'm just a little explanation for folks. I'm saying things and then hearing me say those things like 10 seconds later. So it's a little disorienting. We know this year has been really hard and that the pandemic has affected the financial security of many in our community. Still, we do rely on A Cause for Applause to raise a large portion of our annual budget. If you are able to do so, donations are encouraged and will support our programming and advocacy efforts in 2021. If you would like to support us with a donation, please go to the link in the chat. And any donation of $250 or more will secure an official EI 10-year anniversary t-shirt. So to kick off the show tonight, we were joined by the Walter Cano Octet with the Jitterbug Waltz. Pretty fun, right? You probably noticed the logos of some of our amazing sponsors appearing on the screen as well. Speaking of those sponsors, our diamond sponsor is PA Health and Wellness. Platinum sponsor, AmeriHealth Caritas and Philly AIDS Thrift. And our gold sponsor, BLBB Charitable, Comcast, NBC Universal, Glenn Sykes, and Philadelphia Foundation. Coming up next, I would like to introduce Robert Torres, Secretary of Aging for the Pennsylvania Department of Aging. Welcome,
Good evening.
Secretary
I'm Robert Torres, Secretary of the Pennsylvania Department of Aging. I'm honored to address you tonight during your event, A Cause for Applause, celebrating the LGBT Elder Initiative's 10th anniversary. On behalf of the Department of Aging, I want to congratulate everyone who has contributed to the last 10 years of your success, and to let you know we're actively working to support policies and changes to help drive continued progress for the next 10 years and beyond. Many of you attended and participated in the Department of Aging's first LGBTQ Aging Summit held in late 2018. This gathering served as a call to action to help provide the best quality of culturally affirming and sensitive programming for LGBTQ older adults in the Commonwealth and set the wheels in motion for progress we are making today. That event welcomed more than 300 people, including individuals from the LGBTQ community, advocates, staff from area agencies on aging, educators, community leaders, providers, and others to raise awareness and promote collaborative efforts to support LGBTQ older adults. Since the summit, we have joined forces with the Pennsylvania Commission on LGBTQ Affairs to work on the issues presented during the summit. We have worked to advance solutions developed by attendees who work together to develop actionable steps and suggestions to effectively reach and better support communities at the local level. All of this important work requires that we make sure LGBTQ older adults are engaged with us and that we are listening to them. I've had the opportunity to meet with LGBTQ older adults, and those experiences have helped me to understand their challenges, concerns, and fears about aging. As a result, I want to assure you that our department is committed to making a difference. For example, we are participating in an aging work group created by the Commission to remove obstacles and ensure equality and inclusivity in services and supports for LGBTQ seniors. Long-term care for LGBTQ aging adults is also within the scope of the Pennsylvania Long-Term Care Council that includes long-term care consumers, advocates, caregivers, providers, and policymakers as part of its membership. Heshie Zinman, LGBTQ Elder Initiative Director of Special Projects, serves on this council and has been an effective advocate for LGBTQ older adults in this role. The Department of Aging is working to make certain that older adults receive the quality of care and services they deserve, and that providers are welcoming, culturally competent, and offers a safe space. We have partnered with Sage Care to offer comprehensive cultural competency training for leadership and staff of the department, the Pennsylvania Association for Area Agencies on Aging, and the 52 Pennsylvania Area Agencies on Aging. I am very proud that after training the entire department, we receive a platinum level Sage Care credentials. Once training is completed throughout the rest of the aging network, Pennsylvania will become the first state to achieve this level of training, a goal we set for ourselves in our new 4-year state plan on aging that became effective on October 1st. While building this new plan, we hosted a virtual LGBTQ town hall with the participation of more than 250 individuals. We received great feedback from that meeting, including testimony from a dozen attendees on the issues important to the LGBTQ community that helped to shape the plan. You can see the entire 2020 through 2024 state plan on the department's website. To formalize the department's commitment in serving LGBTQ seniors and furthering the goals of our state plan, the department will start 2021 by issuing a policy statement designating LGBTQ older adults as a community of greatest social need as defined by the Older Americans Act because of the isolation that can occur due to sexual orientation or gender identity. While more work remains, please know that the Department of Aging is a committed partner with you on that journey. Thank you for inviting me to address you. I applaud all that you have accomplished in your first 10 years. Congratulations.
Thank you for joining us, Secretary Torres. One of our proudest accomplishments at the EI has been building such a great relationship with the Pennsylvania Department of Aging. This new designation of LGBTQ people as a population of greatest social need is actually a huge deal. It is an important step in ensuring providers receive cultural sensitivity trainings to do more outreach to LGBT communities and begin to collect data on sexual orientation and gender identity. These are all things that we have been advocating for, and it worked. So the other thing I want to do is say a big thank you to our friends at Jefferson Health for signing on as a gold sponsor just recently. So welcome, Jefferson Health. Glad you're with us. Before we get on to our next segment, I want to take a moment to announce that the 2021 LGBT EI resource book is now live and available online. We have a ton of great articles about the EI, COVID resources for everybody, sponsor highlights, and more. Please check out the link in our chat box. It will be on the EI website for you to download a PDF of, or you can download the PDF from the chat right now, but it will also be in paper form shortly. So what wonderful remarks to kick off the evening from Secretary Torres. And now I would like to welcome Anna Keith, who is with our Diamond sponsor, PA Health and Wellness, to hear more about their connection to our community. Hi, Anna.
Good evening. I am very excited to be here this evening. My name is Anna Keith. I'm the Vice President of Long-Term Supports and Services and Community Relations for PA Health and Wellness. At PA Health and Wellness, we believe in active local involvement, caring for the whole person and focusing on the lives of our participants. Our health plan prioritizes local investments and recognizes that these efforts support healthy and vibrant communities. We are honored to be a Diamond sponsor for this year's Cause for Applause. And we want to congratulate the Elder Initiative for 10 years of service and support for people in the communities. You make a difference, and we're proud to be a part of your efforts tonight. Again, I want to thank you for letting us participate, and we are so honored to be involved with this year's event. We've all endured a lot of challenges over the past year, and let's look forward to 2021 being much more successful. Have a great evening, and I'll turn it over to Michael Byrne.
Thanks, Anna. We're really grateful to have a longtime supporter like PA Health and Wellness. We would not be able to continue to support the aging community without them. Now, moving right along to the impact of the EI. I know we are joined tonight by many volunteers, program participants, donors, and collaborators who have helped us make an impact on the LGBT elder community. Our next video shares a little bit more about our work within the community and with the Aging Services Network.
Being introduced to the work of the Elder Initiative was so important for me. You guys encouraged, you educated, and you opened so many doors for me, no pun intended, to what it means to be an aging leader.
I think as the Elder Initiative approaches its 10-year anniversary, and particularly a 10-year anniversary in the middle of a pandemic that has completely rearranged everyone's lives, I think it only serves to show how important care of older adults is.
The benefits of being a volunteer at the Elder Initiative, for me personally, has been the ability to help people who unfortunately may not have the resources or the ability to access resources, to help them get what they need to successfully live. With the HIV and aging program, what we're trying to get to, I think we're getting to a point where like the go-to source of information for aging with HIV.
I think the Doctor Is In series is a safe, easy, informal way to talk with other LGBT older adults.
Our community advisory board is for long-term survivors for the Thrivers group. Is made up of, like, I think there are 4 or 5 of us that are long-term survivors of HIV. We get together once a month and we come up with, we sit down and we discuss programming and what programs we want to see take place in the future.
No question is off limits. We're open and willing to answer questions, and happy to answer private questions if you don't feel comfortable asking in front of the group.
Being gay is about being young and pretty and fabulous, and you know, it's not going to stay young and beautiful forever. So people are connected with other human beings, and to make that connection, that human connection that people need, and sometimes it makes all the difference in the world for people.
One of the initiatives that we wanted to build off from that state plan on aging was the recommendation to host Pennsylvania's inaugural LGBTQ Aging Summit on Commonwealth soil.
We try to emphasize the most important topics for that older adults in the LGBT community need to know to advocate for themselves and live as healthy a life as they can.
when 2018 began, so began our planning efforts with Elder Initiative, Heshie and you willing to take up the leadership of that post.
The Elder Initiative is a non-judgmental place. We accept you where you are and for who you are. We don't want to make you something that you're not. We just want you to be you.
And understanding better the reality of what LGBT seniors who have lived a lifetime of discrimination, are journeying through as they desire to do what all of us desire to do, to live with dignity and respect.
As a result of the lectures, I hope that people come away more informed about their own medical care, but more importantly, know how to advocate for themselves.
Your mission, to ensure that individuals have rights and opportunities to live vibrant, creative, fulfilling lives. I mean, every one of us wants that.
And that they're able to engage with their own personal doctors to ask them questions that that they maybe were scared to ask before.
It's very inspirational for me. I continue to learn each and every day from David and Heshie and the people in that group each and every day. This is the great thing. This old dog's learned a lot of new tricks.
I can sum it up, I think, in 2 words from my particular lens of life, and that's experience and trust. That advocates in the Elder Initiative, and now the 10 years of trust and experience that you all have developed from your individual and personal lives and your willingness to harness that energy collectively, that is a cause for applause if there ever was one.
It's great to see so many great friends talking about the Elder Initiative and our mission and action. We are truly committed to assuring that the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender older adults have the rights and opportunities to live vibrant, creative, and mutually supportive lives. And I'm sure you would also agree with me that Keith still looks pretty young and fabulous, and I would like to know how. But speaking of young and fabulous, as well as the Elder Initiative and our mission, we really need your support. So if you are able to make a our life-changing work happen in our community, you can help us by donating tonight. The link is in the chat box. You will also notice that throughout the evening, you may see some names scrolling along the bottom of the screen. If you notice that, those are the people who are being very generous tonight and giving to the LGBTEI. It is now time for us to give out our first award of the evening, the Ed Bomba. The Ed Bomba was a founding board member of the Elder Initiative. We probably wouldn't be where we're here celebrating our 10th year anniversary if it were not for Ed's tremendous leadership in getting our organization off of the ground. We give out the Edwin J. Bomba Memorial Award for Advocacy each year to an exceptional advocate making a difference for LGBT older adults. Next, I would like to introduce David Griffith, the Director of Programs and Outreach for the Elder Initiative, to introduce the Bomba Award. David?
Hey, everybody. I just wanted to take a moment to extend my personal thank you to everyone for joining us here this evening and to everyone who's been a part of the Elder Initiative for the past 10 years. I'm here this evening to introduce Senator Bob Casey as the recipient of this year's Edwin J. Bomba Memorial Award for Advocacy. It was actually back in February, which feels like a lifetime ago, but that we as the EI decided that Senator Casey would be this year's honoree in recognition of his aging advocacy as the ranking member of the Senate Special Committee on Aging, as well as for his continued and ongoing support of LGBTQ causes and our communities. And then everything that's happened since February with COVID and the 2020 election, down to everything that's happened this past week, has really just gone to show something we already knew, but has really highlighted the importance of who our elected officials are and who's making decisions for us. And who is advocating for us. And I think we are lucky here in Pennsylvania to have someone like Senator Casey representing us and fighting for our communities and for our needs. And so it is my pleasure to welcome to the virtual stage Senator Bob Casey, the recipient of this year's Edwin J. Bomba Memorial Award for Advocacy.
Hello, and thank you to everyone who helped organize the LGBT Elder Initiative's annual Cause for Applause. I'm honored to be the recipient of the Edwin J. Bomba Memorial Award for Advocacy, and I know that the LGBT Elder Initiative has established itself as one of the leading voices for older LGBT Pennsylvanians. As we celebrate the 10th anniversary of the LGBT Elder Initiative, I want to commend the work of all the advocates who join us tonight. The LGBT Elder Initiative is a force in Pennsylvania, and that is a testament to your work. By facing down years of discrimination and hate, older LGBT adults made possible the civil rights gains we have seen in recent years. Many attending today can remember when simply identifying as a member of the LGBT community was enough to cost you your job or to be arrested. But think about how much has changed nationally in just the 10 years since the LGBT Elder Initiative was founded. And also think about it in terms of Pennsylvania. Just in our state, the initiative has helped to found the Governor's Commission on LGBTQ Affairs and the HIV and Aging Community Advisory Committee. It has helped to create free community and health workshops to address the needs of older LGBT Pennsylvanians, and it's helped to raise public awareness and acceptance of LGBT aging issues as part of the mainstream of our political debate. And if we think about it nationally, we've seen the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, and the right to marry guaranteed, and the strengthening of anti-discrimination laws throughout the country. But much, much more remains to be done. The older LGBT community still faces higher levels of discrimination, social isolation, and health risks than their non-LGBT peers. However, I'm optimistic about continuing the legacy of advocacy that you have established, because those who came before us have left a strong foundation to build upon. Of course, Edwin Bomba, who many of you knew well, embodied that legacy. Edwin served as a strong and fearless advocate for the LGBT and disability communities, and I'm grateful to be considered worthy of the award that bears his name. We've got much more work to do, but I promise to continue to be a full partner in the fight for equality. I want to reverse the trend of isolation and discrimination faced by older LGBT individuals. We must pass nationwide anti-discrimination legislation such as the Equality Act. We should do that in the United States Senate at long last. We need to continue to expand access to culturally competent supports and services, such as those offered through the LGBT community centers and inclusive senior housing. We need to ensure healthcare providers understand the experiences and backgrounds that shape the medical needs of older LGBT individuals. We need to embrace the diversity of the LGBT community and expand the number of LGBT advocates in public office. Finally, we've got more work to do as well in so many other areas. And I'm ready to keep working with all of you to make sure that all these initiatives come to pass, and we work together to make sure that we make progress as we have in the last number of years. I also want to help carry the legacy of Edwin Bomba and other advocates into the future. Thank you again for the honor of this award. Please stay safe. God bless your work. Thank you.
Thank you for being with us tonight, Senator Casey. We are truly grateful for your advocacy efforts on behalf of the LGBT community, and specifically the LGBT elder community. Now, as we move through this evening, I am going to completely always be reminding you that you can make a contribution to our great work. And you can find the link in order to do that within the chat. And you get to see your name go scrolling along the bottom of the screen. So how much fun is that? Now, a $25 donation will help us host one of our weekly Zoom check-ins with the LGBT elder community that we've been doing during COVID-19. It'll help us manage our social media accounts to share pertinent updates related to the coronavirus pandemic, and cover some of our tech costs as we migrate our programming onto virtual platforms. Every donation makes a difference for our advocacy efforts in 2021. If you are able to do so, please use the link in the chat. Our next segment will be a walk down memory lane to celebrate 10 years of the Elder Initiative. The LGBT Elder Initiative traces our origins back to 2010, when a group of aging service providers and LGBT community members came together to start a conversation about LGBT aging in Greater Philadelphia. A landmark 2010 summit helped to set up the direction for much of our work for the past decade. We're next going to hear from some of the influential individuals who helped to develop the organization over the past decade.
Having been there at the creation, it is so rewarding, really, to see. Organizations. Let me just say, organizations come and go. It's very hard, very hard to start a new organization.
We started thinking about making sure that people recognized that being LGBT didn't just stop when you reached a certain age.
The whole idea was connecting, the LGBT community and aging services, because that's where the chasm was.
That we got older and we had needs as older people, some of which were different than other older people.
Certainly the aging community wasn't talking about it, and we didn't know what was going on in the LGBTQ community in terms of accessing services.
We started looking at issues that were impacting the community. HIV, long-term survival, which was very different than what most of us on the board had gone through in the late 80s and 90s.
So we had a meeting at William Way. There were 8 of us, I think 8 or 9 of us around the table, representatives from CARIE, from Senior Law Center, from the Mazzoni Center, and from William Way. And we started talking about it, and someone at the table said, well, we really ought to have community members here. We shouldn't just be us talking to each other. We have to get that input from the community.
A lot of people who brought a ton of really amazing experience in the LGBT community in that room. People like Heshie, people like Ed Bomba and Dawn Monroe and Adabello, like people that have been doing advocacy work for a really long time, and now we're focusing those efforts.
We started looking at what kinds of information we could provide the community, what kinds of information the community may need.
All of a sudden we had, 20 people from this little table, where there were four organizations essentially meeting to say, what do we do? What's going on? Interest was immediate. The interest on both sides, interest in the aging services community, the providers, and interest in the LGBT community, and having this conversation.
I said a lot of the issues EI addresses are there for all older adults, but some of them are different for LGBT older adults. So things like legal issues, right? Things like HIV and aging, sexual health as well. The EI was addressing things that I think mainstream aging services providers were not necessarily addressing in the same way.
When the summit happened, it was really a very a really forward-looking step. This was not something that was happening all over the country. This was something that we were doing in Philadelphia.
Main things we did and that the program committee worked on was developing each year sort of a calendar of, we called them conversations, which were basically one-day workshops around a single issue area. So maybe it was HIV and aging or healthy aging.
people started to feel essential. They started to become part of a community instead of the community. It was a different community that was focused mainly on their needs, our needs, and what we needed to do to make our lives better and easier.
That question of what do we do now has clearly been answered. that the 10 years since that summit have proven the value of the of the EI, and it's become it's what's so wonderful. It and the issues have become so integrated into the aging services world that it's hard to imagine the world before that.
What started out as a group of volunteers in Philadelphia has, through ongoing advocacy, affected change at the statewide level, demonstrates what can happen when people come together and work collectively toward a goal.
I think it makes a way for people to be active and involved, to keep our minds fresh and moving.
Satisfying in a way, and I also again want to give such credit to those who have led the organization for over the last 10 years.
The feeling of the need of being essential has made all the difference in the world in this organization.
Wow. That was pretty great. To not only to see the growth in our organization over the last 10 years, but to hear from some folks who were there right at the very beginning. I'm really inspired by the advocacy work of all the individuals that have worked with the EI over the past 10 years, and the talents that help us ensure that the Elder Initiative prospers and contributes to helping our community age successfully. Next, I would like to introduce one of our founding board members, Ada, to introduce the Founders Award for LGBT Equity. Ada?
Good evening. My name is Ada Bello. I was a founding member of the LGBT Elder Initiative and served on the board until 2019. On behalf of the Elder Initiative, I'm pleased and honored to present the Founders Award for LGBT Equity to CARIE, the Center for Advocacy for the Rights and Interests of the Elderly. CARIE was a driving force behind the creation of the LGBT Elder Initiative 10 years ago, and have continued to be a tremendous advocate for the LGBT aging population over the past decade. Their services, such as CARIE Line and particularly the Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program, continues to be important resources for LGBT older adults. Their advocacy work has pushed the Aging Network to become more inclusive and responsive to LGBT communities. It is a great pleasure to welcome Diane Menio to accept this award for CARIE.
Thank you, Ada, for that wonderful introduction. It's great to be here tonight with you and everyone from the LGBTEI from the past and the current people who are involved. I'm so glad to have met Ada through the LGBTEI. I admire her so much, and she certainly is an example to all of us in her advocacy on many issues, aging and LGBT rights and so on. And I want to say that we are very pleased to be involved with the EI and since the beginning or before the beginning. And we got involved for a lot of good reasons. One is, for me personally, and this happened quite a long time before 2010, we had a client who was basically put out of his home because his partner died and the family wanted to sell the home, and he was homeless, and we helped him get a home where he was welcome. And so we really needed to do this work for a lot of reasons. That's only one example. And I think we need to do more and more. I want to turn this over to Jessica for Hartfield for a little while. Jessica is a long-term care ombudsman at CARIE, and she's been with us for some time and has worked on some of the same issues that all of you are working on. And I'd like to introduce Jessica Hartfield now. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane, for that introduction and for your years of dedication to CARIE that has really enabled our organization to continue to evolve as leaders for those who deserve to age with dignity and respect. As the number of the proportion of older Americans are increasing, the number of gay and lesbian, bisexual, and transgender older adults are increasing as well. And aging and the need for services that may accompany it present special challenges for the LGBT community. Through these challenges and identifying ways of addressing them, CARIE is advocates for LGBT elder adults. We try to identify and offer solutions for those challenges that currently exist for LGBT older adults. And while some experience of aging are similar to those faced by non-LGBT people, those with unique barriers really need the quality services to make sure that they continue to grow safe as older adults. So, the first thing that we have tried to do as advocates and leaders is ensuring that our advocates are educated and have the competent cultural training to provide services for older adults, so that anyone who calls CARIE knows that they are talking to an advocate who cares about them. And we also know that older adults are continuing to age and will need quality services and people who understand their unique needs as they age. So trying to initiate conversations between aging service providers and members of the LGBT communities is an area that CARIE has continued to advocate for over the years, and making sure that these conversations are happening, training is happening with providers who we know our older LGBT adults will most likely have to interact with at some point in their lives. And trying to increase the awareness of the experience and the challenges and issues that older LGBT adults face with the larger community through our outreach and education to communities who are often the gatekeepers for older adults. Our long-term care ombudsman program has worked significantly with the different initiatives and committees with the Elder Initiative and other gatekeepers in the community to try and identify ways to support and take actionable steps to educate providers, long-term care facilities about the rights of LGBT older adults and about the challenges that they may face. And again, really making sure that the community knows we are a resource, CARIE is a resource and an advocate for all older adults who, again, deserve to age with dignity and respect. And with that, I will pass it back to Diane. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. And Jessica is only one of our advocates. We have over 30 staff now who are all sensitive to these issues. We have been certified as platinum by SAGE. It's very important to us that our staff is aware and able to help all older adults, and especially, the population we're talking about tonight. And so I really am pleased again to get this award. I want to thank Michael and Sandra and Heshie and David. Heshie, I will say about Heshie, I've been working with him for some time, and I remember a lot of interactions. We were on the first board together. Heshie was the chair, and I was on the board. And I met so many wonderful people, and I wish I could shout all of them out. Some of them aren't with us anymore, and some are. And so I'm very pleased to have been involved with that. We continue to fight for these issues. If one of the things that I will make a comment about is in the past 10 years, a lot has changed in the world. And I think that's great. I think the EI has had a lot of, should take a lot of credit for some of that here in the region and in Pennsylvania. And we keep pushing those issues as well. You know, just gender questions on an application. A couple of years ago, I went to the Department of Human Services, and they were developing a new application for a new program, and it had, you know, sex, male, female. And I said, that just isn't appropriate. And this is going to be used for the future. And there's going to be a time very soon when nothing will have male binary answers to a question like that. And it was interesting because, of course, there's a lot of red tape to go through at the government, and they couldn't do it immediately. And so she said, we don't really need to know that. So let's just take that off the application. So at least that's something, but not enough. And so we keep working on those issues. And we work on, one of the issues that we're working very much on right now is nursing homes, because we're in the middle of a pandemic and they've been hit hard for everyone. And we've been doing a rewrite of the regulations, and we made sure that there was language in the comments that we made, in any case, to the regulations, so that it would also have inclusive language for people who were LGBT. So we continue our work. The LGBTI continues its work. And I just want to say I'm so blessed to be able to work with the EI on programs and many other things. And I again, thank you all very much for this wonderful honor. And we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane, and all the amazing people that work for the Center for Advocacy for the Rights and Interests of the Elderly, also known as CARIE, for joining us tonight. CARIE was so very important to the founding of the Elder Initiative, and we're grateful to their partnership and their continued advocacy to benefit the older adult population. Our final award of the evening is the LGBT Elder Initiative's Angel Award, presented to the amazing Dr. Rachel Levine.
Dr. Levine, on behalf of the LGBT Elder Initiative and LGBT elders across Pennsylvania, thank you, thank you, thank you for working so diligently to keep all Pennsylvanians safe from coronavirus this past year. You have exemplified calm and competence, and I'm so very proud and grateful to call you a friend. And I know that there are many folks across the state who feel that you have been our angel. Thank you.
Hi, Dr. Levine. Congratulations. We wanted to thank you for being such a great leader, not just for Pennsylvanians, but for us here at the Department of Health.
Congratulations, Dr. Levine. I am so thankful for you because of your leadership in our response in long-term care facilities. Your work has truly protected our most vulnerable Pennsylvanians in long-term care facilities, and there's no one we would rather have at the helm. Thank you for everything, and congratulations again.
Hi, Dr. Levine. Congratulations on this award. I'm so thankful to work with you because you're such a trusting and optimistic leader, and you always guide us towards the decision that is best for all people in Pennsylvania. So thank you so much, and you are so deserving of this award.
Hi, Dr. Levine. Congratulations. I'm so thankful to work with you each day and for your mentorship in public health. You're so deserving of this award. Congrats again.
Hi, Dr. Levine. I wanted to congratulate you on your award. And I wanted to just say thank you from the bottom of my heart. We are all so honored and privileged to work for you. And I could not think of anyone better to help lead this global pandemic response here in Pennsylvania. Thank you and congratulations.
Congratulations.
Dr. Levine, thank you so much and congratulations. It's been such an honor to serve with you in the Wolf administration. You have been such a great leader from the first meeting we had where you really outlined the work you've been doing for the LGBT community. I've just been in awe. This has been such a tumultuous year and your leadership has been able to really save so many lives here in Pennsylvania. Hearing your calming voice at 2 p.m. every day has been something that a lot of Pennsylvanians have looked forward to. And even with all of the negativity, you've stayed strong, you've given people the facts, and you've helped keep people safe. So for that, thank you so much and congratulations.
Hi, Dr. Levine. I just want to take a few minutes to say thank you and congratulations on this honor. As I was thinking about this, I was going back in time to realize how long we've known each other. And we met back in the 2006-07 timeframe at the Keystone Conference doing a fundraiser for the LGBTQ Center of Central PA. From then on, we went and served on some boards together. I consider you not just a great friend, but a colleague and someone that I look up to and I admire so much for the work that you've done. So from the bottom of my heart, I thank you for everything that you've done, for the work that you continue to do, and for the hits that you've had to take on behalf of a very appreciative community. As many of us know in public service, we're subject to sometimes the worst of humanity, but sometimes it's great to remember the best of humanity. And that's where I want to say thank you and congratulations on this well-deserved honor.
Thank you, Dr. Levine. You and your team at the Pennsylvania Department of Health have worked around the clock for months to save countless lives from this dangerous virus. We are all so grateful for your tireless leadership in the face of both COVID-19 and unprecedented transphobic hate. Thank you for your dedication to the health of all Pennsylvanians.
Madam Secretary, we've known each other for a decade or more, and you know how big a fan I've been of yours for that entire time period. But I have to tell you, this today, as I sit here and congratulate you on this honor, I could not be more proud than I ever have in all the time that we've known each other. God bless you, and thank you so much for what you've done for me and the Commonwealth. Thanks.
My name is the Reverend Carla Christopher Wilson. I live in York, where I co-founded Equality Fest, our answer to Pride. I serve 8 counties as the assistant to the bishop in the ELCA Lutheran Church based out of Harrisburg, and I serve a congregation in Lancaster. Every single one of these communities, every single one of the counties I serve are safer, are more vibrant, more resilient, more filled with joy because of you and your tireless work, Dr. Levine. Thank you for the way that you advocate for all of us, no matter who we are, in the face of resistance and while living with significant oppression. You have done everything you could to find bold, pioneering ways to keep us safe and to continue to advocate for better and best practices for all the people of Pennsylvania. You are valued, you are prayed for. And with gratitude, I say on behalf of many counties and thousands of people, thank you.
Hello, I'm Dr. Rachel Levine, Secretary of Health for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I would very much like to thank Heshie Zinman, David Griffith, and Sandra Thompson for their wonderful work to pull together this virtual event. It is so important to take time to celebrate and reflect on the accomplishments that our community has achieved, especially during these unprecedented times. Additionally, I would like to congratulate the LGBT Elder Initiative on their 10th anniversary. I am so honored to receive the LGBT Elder Initiative Angel Award. I'm so sorry that we could not attend in person. However, as we have seen, COVID-19 continues to be the biggest public health threat that we face today. This past year has certainly been challenging for all of us. COVID-19 affects you, your family, your coworkers, our community, and so many more. What this virus has shown us is how interconnected we all really are. It has also shown the true health disparities that are present in Pennsylvania. In April, Governor Wolf announced a health disparity task force to address the unique needs of vulnerable populations in Pennsylvania, including our LGBTQ community. We know that this virus is impacting minority communities differently, which is why we are working to make improvements to the way that we collect data so we can inform our public health policy decisions, drive healthcare delivery, and ultimately improve population health. We have worked to include sexual orientation and gender identity in our data collection to make sure that everyone in our community is counted in COVID-19 data. We also have taken steps to ensure all people in Pennsylvania who are experiencing symptoms consistent with COVID-19 have access to testing. Everyone in Pennsylvania deserves equal access to care, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. Currently, the Department of Health is continuing to work with communities across Pennsylvania to engage them even closer, as well as engaging nonprofits and other organizations to keep the dialogue going. COVID-19 has changed the way that Pennsylvanians connect and support one another. Throughout the pandemic, we have worked to slow the spread of COVID-19 in our communities. There are essentially three ways to address the pandemic. The first is through containment, with efforts like testing, case investigations, and contact tracing. That has proven challenging recently with our high case counts. The second is through mitigation, such as the statewide efforts to reduce gatherings and travel and our universal masking orders. And the third is through treatment with therapeutics, such as the monoclonal antibodies and also, of course, the vaccine. We know that this has been such a challenging period for everyone in Pennsylvania. However, we have reached a new chapter in this fight. In December, Pennsylvania received its first shipments of the COVID-19 vaccines from the federal government. These shipments signaled the start of the process to end the COVID-19 pandemic and its devastating impacts on every community in our Commonwealth. We're getting new shipments of the COVID-19 vaccines each week, so we can continue to vaccinate those who need it most. Currently, we are continuing our efforts to vaccinate Pennsylvanians. The first phase focuses on reaching critical populations due to the limited supply. Phase 1A includes healthcare personnel, such as our EMS first responders, and residents in long-term care facilities. Phase 1B includes critical workers, maintaining core societal functions, and essential workers, as well as people 75 years and older, and residents in other congregate care settings. Phase 1C includes those 65 to 74 years of age, those with high-risk medical conditions, and other critical workers as identified by the CDC. You all play significant roles in keeping your communities safe and healthy, and together we can promote physical and mental health. Now, please always remember, you are important. To improve the health of Pennsylvania, we all need to foster a spirit of acceptance and welcoming to all residents of the Commonwealth, to create, according to our vision, a healthy Pennsylvania for all. Thank you so much for your continued support. And always remember, stay calm, stay alert, and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, Dr. Levine. Not only are you an angel to the Elder Initiative, but you are a superhero in my eyes. Truly amazing, amazing woman. So, now I also want to remind everybody about the resource book that is now live online. Please click the link in the chat to check it out and peruse all the great resources and content inside. As we close out this evening, we would like to take a few minutes to look to the future and keep the momentum from the evening moving forward. We are very excited about our new partnership with the William Way Community Center, which will expand the reach of our programming and advocacy for LGBT older adults. I welcome my dear friends Chris Bartlett and Heshie Zinman to tell us some more.
One of the great stories about me and Heshie is that we met in 1990 and we've worked together steadily for 30 years, envisioning how we can have stronger LGBT communities. And so it's natural, as we both became elders in the community, to envision organizations that would best meet the needs of our LGBT seniors.
What I'm most proud is that the Elder Initiative put LGBT aging on the map in this region, in Philadelphia and in Pennsylvania. Chris, you and I in partnership worked to create a summit in 2010, a survey of LGBT elders' needs, concerns about aging. So we have been very grassroots and very community-based. Everything that we've done has always circled back to community. So it just made perfect sense that we would just join forces and really create a dynamic aging program in the city of Philadelphia.
One of the things I'll acknowledge both the Elder Initiative and William Way for is our ability to empower really brilliant leaders. And when you look at over the last 10 years, the growth of Elizabeth Coffey Williams as a leader in this movement, Sandra Thompson as a leader in this movement, Ed Bomba, may he rest in peace,
rest in
one of our
peace.
most inspiring leaders, Dawn Monroe, and the fact that it was representative of trans communities, communities of color, women, that it was a diverse multicultural movement that emerged out of the Elder Initiative and the William Way to make sure that we addressed the needs of seniors in all of our beautiful rainbow. One of the things I want to talk about is we just have wonderful, wonderful leaders in this movement in David Griffith and Ed Miller, who both for many, many years have taken the lead with both the Elder Initiative and William Way Senior programs to grow capacity, both in the city and the region and the state. And it's been thrilling for me to see them work together as a team and to see the possibility of the synergies between them.
And we really need to address the needs of these elders, because what I'd say is that our community is resilient. It is a resilient community that has a lot of needs. And so we need to be addressing the needs of those people in this area and across the state, with programs and information that they're going to need to age successfully.
And one of the things that I want to acknowledge is that both organizations, the Elder Initiative and the William Way, come together with very strong leadership. So we have two strong organizations coming together as one, with the ultimate goal of providing better services for LGBT
or older LGBT adults.
Yeah, and
So
that's
number one priority.
Yeah.
That's number one priority, because this community, as resilient as it is, has a lot of need.
Yeah, one of the things I always say is that the LGBT older adults are the men and women who created gay liberation. They're the ones who built the William Way Community Center and the Mazzoni Center. They're the ones who marshaled the fight against the AIDS epidemic, who fought for our rights on the local, state, and federal level. And so I've always said we owe them the best services.
Absolutely.
As our thank you for all of those achievements. Yeah, and I think Heshie and I also want to thank everyone here tonight for your support, both for the Elder Initiative and William Way over so many years. Obviously, we couldn't do it without your investment and belief in the efforts we're making on behalf of LGBT seniors. But we want more than just your donation, though that makes a difference. We want your engagement. So please let us know what you're observing, how you think we can do a better job. We look forward to hearing from you. Am I right, Heshie?
Yeah. Yes. Yes, you are.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you, Heshie. I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. I don't know about you, but I feel really energized by the support we've seen this evening from all of our attendees, our sponsors, our partners, our community, our award winners, and everyone who has given of their time to share tonight during our celebration. Our donations are still open, so please use the link in the chat if you are able to support the EI. We would love to continue the momentum created this evening for years to come. All donations will fund the advocacy efforts in 2021 and benefit everyone in the LGBT elder community. We hope you've enjoyed celebrating 10 years of the Elder Initiative and getting to know the work on a deeper level. We look forward to the future and the impact of our honorees will continue to create. Joining us now is the Walter Cano Octet to wrap us up. Thank you again, and please be safe, stay safe, and have a really, really wonderful evening. Good night.